I'm going to read this tweet by Wojnarowski. So, this is what he said. ESPN sources Ben Simmons and the Philadelphia 76ers have reached a settlement agreement on the grievance the All-Star guard filed to recoup a portion of the nearly $20 million withheld him as a result of his failure to play games in the 2021-2022 season. Story soon. So he's going to get a portion of his salary back for skipping playing with the Sixers for most all of last year. He never played in a Sixers jersey. Hell, he didn't play in a Nets jersey all last year. He just took that year off. And so I guess another tweet I'm going to read. It says the 76ers maintain Simmons breached his contract upon failing to show up for a start of training camp and refusing to play in preseason and regular season prior to trade to the Nets. Simmons cited his mental health for the reason his participation in team activities was so limited. Both sides agreed to confidentiality agreement on the exact financial settlement, sources tell ESPN. So basically one side got embarrassed in this. That's what I can tell already from this. Either the Sixers got hosed and they had to pay him back the majority of the salary he didn't get from playing for them that year, or Ben got just like a small portion of that money back, which would be embarrassing to him. So either side got embarrassed, so that's why they agreed to confidentiality. Neither side wants the public to know how they got humiliated. That's what I can tell. I have to say it's a damn shame if Ben Simmons got back most of that money he lost. He simply doesn't deserve it. I know some people will say mental health and that he really did suffer from mental health, but he just doesn't have no credibility with me. I just think he's full of shit. I just don't trust him or his team of people. He is with Clutch Sports, and Clutch is ruthless. They'll do whatever it takes to get the most money possible for their client. They have the sleaziest tactics from what I've seen over the years. So I wouldn't put it past them to bring up the mental health card. I just don't believe it. It's basically his word against everybody else's word, and he just doesn't have credibility with me. He's never shown to have good character as an individual, so I don't trust him. But I will say this: I've had friends who suffer from mental health, who suffer from depression. To me, it's a serious thing. I've known people who have had suicidal thoughts, who have tried to commit suicide, and I take it personal when a guy like Ben Simmons says mental health. I just don't respect him, and it makes me think of all the people I know who I'm close to in my life who've suffered mentally from mental health, and I just get offended from it when I hear him pull that card. To me, it's just he's full of shit. I just don't believe him on that. He was smiling and giggling on the Nets bench, and while he was collecting that free money, just doesn't look like a person to me who suffers from mental health. Just I'm sorry. I know some people will say like, well, there are some people that look happy who suffer from mental health, sure, but I'm just not buying it into Simmons. Simmons has always been a spoiled brat, so to me that's just offensive. But it also it's also bad news for the rest of the NBA. It really is. Other players are seeing what Ben pulled off, and they're thinking like, wow, I guess I can do the same thing too. I can sit out the whole entire year and possibly get most of my money back. I'm going to get at least some of it back just by sitting out, and I can just pull some shenanigans, whether it's mental health or something else. I can just make up a story and just win in a grievance, and I can get it back. This is also bad for the Nets with Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's people are probably seeing this news and thinking like, well, we could pull this off too. We could come up with something and we can just pull a holdout and sit out the whole entire year and just we'll win this battle. It's in our favor. The leverage is back in our court. So, and it possibly is now with this ruling. Just terrible precedent by the Sixers for not fighting this. It's just really a bad look and just shows again the players have all the power to create all this chaos in the league. I'm just very disgusted by the result. Tell me what you think.